Maeya TV. My name is Eligia. I'm your host today. I am with Emma Valdez, who is an actress and a designer. We're going to talk a little bit about her projects and sort of what she's working on. So let's start off by asking, how are you?
I'm doing excellent.
Yeah, like it's so nice to meet you. And I know you started off a lot, your passion was theater, and it sort of came back to you, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your start in the arts?
Sure. I think we all act when we're children. We just aren't aware of it. We play make believe. And it's actually my oldest brother who would always come up with things we would do. I came here from Mexico when I was 7 and I didn't really speak English. So MTV was hot and happening at the time. And we would have talent shows. So that was, I think, the first time that I fell in love with performing. I would do talent shows at home, and our friends would come and pay 25 cents to come see us. But I think that's what sparked the interest. And then in junior high, I really didn't do it. But then in high school, I found Plaza de la Raza, which allowed me to really come out of my shell. And I did 2 plays during that time, but then I stopped. Life took over. I went into the fashion industry, and I've been blessed to have been able to be a working designer for all these years. And in 2019, I found theater again, and I started doing a few plays, and now I'm doing like film and TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. So, in your time, that first round at Plaza de la Raza, what kind of plays were you doing, and sort of what was that experience like?
Well, the first experience was amazing because I was 16 and we worked with Cal Arts. So really awesome directors would be sent to Plaza de la Raza to teach us. We got to write a play. I think we were 19 kids. We got to write a play, we directed it, we acted in it, we presented it, and it was amazing. And then the second play we did in the fall was an adaptation of Our Town, but it was in Spanish. Well, it was mixed. And I got to play one of the main characters, and since then I knew that it was my passion. But then, after I turned 18, I could no longer go back because it was for youth. And I didn't really pursue acting for 20-something years.
So this program, was it, because you mentioned it had Cal Art students as well, was it the auditions open to the public? Is that how you were able to?
You would just show up. It was just a workshop for kids every summer, and it would carry on through the fall. And it was just a way to expose children to the arts. And we got classes on improv, how to develop characters, how to start writing and directing. But, it was just for kids. It wasn't meant to be like strict. You didn't have to try out. It was for everyone, and everyone found a home. And everything that we were being taught really helped everyone, not only in acting, but in a personal level. Like you could go to a job interview and not be nervous, or it made everyone more socially comfortable, because a lot of the kids we were very shy. So it helped.
Yeah, so going into that, so you had a whole career in designing. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've done there?
Oh yeah. Well, my first job was at a company called Us Boys, and throughout college, I worked retail, so I would see all these brands, and I thought, wow, one day I'd love to make clothes for these companies. So my first job was at Us Boys, and throughout the time, I've gotten to make clothes for all the major department stores: JCPenney, Kohl's. I've done Target, Walmart, Tilly's, PacSun, The Buckle, name it. I've done it. And it's mainly been for juniors, which is for young women, but I've also done children's, maternity, Missy, plus sizes, and even a little bit of men's. So it's been a fun, I've had fun. I never thought about it as work, but I always felt that something was missing. And that was theater and acting in general.
Yeah. I mean, clothes are such an important part about like a character and how they
Right.
move, right? So did that ever transfer over to your characters?
Oh, totally. Every time I get, even when I audition for stuff, I always look through my closet and I'm like, what is this character wearing? What are her accessories? And even when I'm doing theater, I always volunteer to take charge with like the costumes. And I mean, it's awesome that I can combine both because those are the two things that I'm most passionate about: clothing and acting.
Really quickly, what was like your specialty in when you were designing clothes? Like, did you work a lot with a certain material? Was there something that you really found yourself that you were really good at designing?
You know, for a while I was really into screen T-shirts and like tie-dye techniques. I love tie-dye and garment dye, but also I got to do prom dresses.
Oh.
I was at a company where out of the blue the owner was like, "Hey, I bought the license to doing prom dresses," and it felt overwhelming, but I did an amazing job because it was something new. And I think when something is new, even though we're afraid, it pushes us to bring the best forward. And then also doing a lot of bralettes for the buckle, the little tops, kind of like the one you're wearing.
That's cool.
So
Western wear is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does it look like when you're designing something? Like, are you sketching it?
You know what? I'm still very old school. I still take my pencil and sketch. I have to look at the fabrics. And the fabrics have a way of communicating with you. I know it sounds weird, but I can see a fabric and I know if it wants to be a dress, if it's going to be a top. And you just get inspiration from the materials you're working with.
Do you have like a pinch me moment of seeing your designs on like a celebrity or something, or like seeing it out there? Like,
you know what? I was watching. I never really realized that when you do stuff for Walmart and Target, a lot of the clothing you make ends up in commercials.
oh yeah.
I was watching a T-Mobile commercial, and I'm like, I made that shirt. And I was like, oh my God. And then one of my co-workers designed a hoodie that was in the Transformers movie. So Megan Fox was running around with a hoodie and my friend made it. So you always see stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then and not only that, I think like 6 years ago, I went to my son's school and I see this lady wearing a hoodie that I made for Target. And it had been like a good 10 years. So I felt so good that it lasted that long. Like this woman has had it for 10 years. And I don't know, I thought that was the coolest thing.
Oh, that's so cool. Is there something that's like really hard to design, like that either maybe you don't like to do it as much, or that's just more challenging?
No, I love everything. Sometimes bottoms are hard just because people's shapes are so different. And a lot of times you have to try and create something that's going to look great on everyone. But I love everything. You know, dresses, casual clothes, even pajamas are fun to make.
Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, so going into that, what's some of the costumes that you have designed that you are very proud of within the theater or your characters?
Well, just recently, we Tierra Blanca, they're a nonprofit theater company, and they presented a play named Valentina y la Sombra del Diablo. And I got to read the play and I loved it. And the devil character, I kept thinking of like so many cool ways to dress that character, but I didn't say anything. And then the director approached me and he said, "Hey, I want you to be part of this. Can you make the costumes?" And so I got to make, I think there were 3 or 4 different outfits. And I also helped the actors get into them because they were pretty intricate. So I was there for every performance, and I realized that I enjoyed being backstage as much as I do being in front of the camera. It's just equally as rewarding.
And your pieces get to like be on the stage too. So
Right.
It's performing as well. Oh, that's so cool. Are you also like very hands-on? Are you like needle and
Oh, I'm
thread
so
in
hands-on.
hands?
I still stitch by hand. My friend has a pop-up, and we hand embroider like we make little pillows, we make keychains, and it's her business, but I always help her. I'm her like manual labor. And I love anything that's creative. I want to be part of.
Do you feel like when you've been designing things in general, do you have like a signature touch? Like you really love working with a certain color, with a certain fabric?
No, not specific. I mean, I love all colors. Black for the longest time was my thing, but now I'm embracing royal blue.
Yeah, your earrings are rainbow, so
Rainbow, yeah.
that's so cool. Okay, back into your acting career, which is so exciting. So you found your way back into theater. How did that happen?
Well, I love theater because I feel that it has a way of saving people's lives, believe it or not. When I was younger and I was going to Plaza de la Raza, I grew up in South LA, where in my neighborhood there were a lot of gangs. And what kept me away from all that was having a place to go to. And I also took my youngest brother. So we were always like the kids who never got into trouble. We were all about theater. And then in 2019, I was going through a personal issue that I was, I guess, a little bit depressed, and I really felt, I'm like, okay, I already have my career, but I was missing something. And I started thinking about going back to theater for many years, but I didn't know how. I happened to be at a concert, and one of my friends who happened to be there was like, wow, your voice is pretty powerful. Have you ever thought about doing theater? And I was like, yes, for years. And he invited me to go to the Frida Kahlo Theater, which is where I go now. And he was teaching there at the time. And I got to step on the stage after 20 something years, and it was so rewarding that I continued, and that led to more projects. And now I'm doing a little bit of I'm doing shorts, and I've done a commercial. So it's evolving, but I still love being, I still love doing theater.
Yeah. And you said something sweet about how one of your teachers was there or something, right?
Oh, when I went to, so last year I got to perform in a pastorela. They're the Christmas plays in Spanish.
Yeah.
And when I saw that we were performing at Plaza de la Raza, I was going to die. I was so excited because Plaza de la Raza, the Marco Albert Theater, is where I did my first two plays when I was 17. So getting to go back there to perform, and then I saw the lady who taught me while I was there, Barbara June Dodge, and she's still there, and I just felt like it was a dream come true, like come for, full circle. That was one of the highlights, I think, of my days.
That's beautiful. Oh, so I know you've also, besides all your theater projects, you also have ventured into film a bit. What are some of those projects that you've gotten to do?
Well, there's quite a bit. I've done 7 long plays. I've done 7 short films and 7 festivals, which is odd. Everything's in sevens. But I got to do, I'm getting to do a few school, like UCLA, Loyola Marymount school films. And I'm mainly doing them to improve my reel. But I also got to do a few shorts with people that I've met through like acting. You start like doing stage plays, and then people start venturing out into film. So then they get to see your work and you network. And this summer I'm going to shoot another one called Swap Meet. And I also met the director and writer through the theater. So one thing just pulls you to the next.
That's cool, and it's also like if these people want to work with you again, it means
you're
doing something right, right?
Definitely. But also you have to be prepared. Many years ago I went to a workshop and to do like film and television, and I learned that you need a reel, you need good pictures, you need a resume, and you need to really prepare yourself. So I started doing little things to get myself ready, so when the time would come I would be ready. I wanted to be able to, I take a lot of classes, I go to a lot of events, and I think you just have to be in it because you network and people get to know you, and then you get invited to participate. You don't even have to audition after a while. So.
Yeah, once you build that relationship with them.
Yeah, and they get to see your work, especially being in the theater at Frida Kahlo. everyone gets to meet each other, and they're doing another project. They call you, and you're constantly doing something where people can come see you.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So, what's the best piece of advice someone has offered you in your acting career?
Not to take things too seriously. You know, a lot of when you keep going to auditions and you don't get it, it's fine. To take it away as a learning experience. I'm always just so grateful to be able to get, like, when I submit, I get an audition, and I do the best I can, and I don't take it personal. If you don't get it, you don't get it. I feel that if things are meant for you, they'll find you.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good
Yeah.
advice. So, have you had any particular role that's been really challenging for you?
My first role, I was in a theater play, and then the same director that invited me wanted me to audition for a 10-minute festival, but they were going to shoot it because the pandemic was happening, so we couldn't be in public. And the role, I read the role, and I thought, wow, this person is so far from who I am. It would be such a great challenge. But at the end of reading the play, I realized this was a man. He was a transgender sex worker in TJ. So I thought it was going to be the biggest challenge, but I ended up, I auditioned for it, I got it, and it was such an awesome experience because my co-star is someone that I admire so much, but at the time I didn't know who he was. His name is Manuel Chitai, and he's one of the most excellent actors I've ever met. But so, you know, we're rehearsing. I have no idea how talented he was, and he was so humble and so giving, and we just built this great relationship. And after we filmed it, and it a lot of people, it had so many disclaimers. I think a lot of people opted to not see it because it's a 10-minute festival, so you get to see 10 pieces. And since it was on Zoom, I think a lot of people were like, oh, there's so many like labels, they skipped over it. But after like a year that we had done it, I look at it again and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I pulled through. I'm still very proud of it. And then I find out how great he was. And I am so grateful that I didn't know at the time because I would have been so intimidated. But, and it was called La Noche de Anoche. My character was La Cuerva. And it was all in Spanish.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you tend to work a lot in Spanish, or is it mixed?
I'm mixed. I tend to do, when it's theater, I do mainly in Spanish, but I've done a few 10-minute festivals that are bilingual, and some are just English. Yeah, but the films have been mainly in English.
When it comes to looking forward into the future, what kind of genres or characters do you want to play?
I love horror flicks, but I also love shows like The Office, kind of like absurd, like Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
I used to love Schitt's Creek. So characters like that are a little off. That's what calls me.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any advice that you picked up that you would like to pass on to a younger either actor or designer, someone who wants to be in the theater?
I think that whatever your passion is, just go for it. Don't let people tell you that you can't. I mean, me at 47, I woke up one day and said, in 2 years, I want to do a film. It might not be a great film or a huge film, but I want to do a film, and I did it. So if you're passionate about whatever it is, just go for it. Life is too short. And you know, if you really have the passion for it, you'll find a way to do it. And don't limit yourself. Just go for it.
Oh, that's great. That's good advice. Okay. So ending off, I would like to ask you to let the cameras know what you have going on and where can we find you, either on IMDb or your socials.
Okay, in IMDb, I'm Emma Valdez. In Instagram, I'm Emma Valdez Medusa. And I will be in a play at the Frida Kahlo Theater the last 2 weekends of June, and it's called Fue en un Cabaret. And this summer, I'm going to shoot a short called Swap Meet, and hopefully we can put it out in festivals.
Yeah, and you might be wearing her designs.
I might be wearing something I made, yes.
Yeah. So it was so great to talk to you. Thank you
Nice
for being
talking
here.
to you too.
Yeah, this is lovely. And I hope everyone watching sticks around for the next one. Thank you. Adios.
Adios.
Adios.